Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you. We are really looking forward to today's Speeding Up Photography Workflows webinar. For 25 years of Fotostation, we're going to look at how it changed and developed alongside with photography trends. We're going to look at use cases and how brand and agencies and individuals can use a digital asset management, tips and tricks to speed up the photography workflow, how to quick select, index, and publish photos. In the end, we'll end up with a Q&A session for any questions you might have. So if any of you have questions, please feel free to write your questions in the questions panel. If you want to make yourself known, you can also just say hello in the chat. So we'll also try to answer any question during the presentations if possible, or we will do it at the end. The webinar will be recorded, and the link to the webinar and additional information links will be sent to you at a later time. My name is John Frederick England, Engagement Manager FotoWare and your host for the day. Together with me, I would like to introduce as co-host and speaker my very knowledgeable and fantastic colleague, Senior Product Specialist at FotoWare, Olav Andreas Frenning. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
And finally, I am so excited and happy to be able to introduce our main speaker for today. With more than 25 years of experience from digital asset management industry, working with digital strategy, data design, and product selection to help improve digital asset workflows, Fred among friends, and it is founder and CEO of ACTIVO Consulting, Frederick Sanui. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. And so we're very delighted to run this session alongside this exciting time of 25 years of Fotostation.
Great, Frederick. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So let's get this show going, starting with Ola Andreas Frenning with some FotoWare insights.
Okay, so for those of you who may be new to FotoWare, we are on a mission to enable people and organizations to do more with their content. And so what exactly does that mean? It means that we want to make digital content, such as pictures, as you'll see in today's demonstration, easier to manage, to make it available on all the platforms that you use, and to make it reusable in a way that feels natural, such as, for example, via plugins in the tools that people use every single day. In today's demo, you'll see mostly Fotostation, our main workstation, which happens to celebrate 25 years in May this month. But you'll also see how Fotostation works in tandem with the entire FotoWare suite and other pro tools that photographers usually swear by. So basically, Fotostation is part of an entire ecosystem that makes content available for those who manage content and for those who simply go to a DAM system to consume content. If you'll switch to the next slide, please. Because some of you may be new to FotoWare, we've come up with this summary slide. We've been around since 1994. That's a long time, and it pretty much makes us dinosaurs in the software industry. We're based in Oslo. We've got satellite offices in Sydney and in Gothenburg. And we have customers in a pretty wide range of segments, I would say. When we first set out in 94, we began with the publishing and newspaper industry. But we branched out. So today, basically, we're represented in pretty much all kinds of services. We do public services, police and rescue squads, public administration, private businesses, societies. So we like to say that anyone who stores digital content is essentially a candidate for a FotoWare solution. Roughly speaking, we have 4,000 businesses around the world who trust FotoWare with their assets. And these are being cared for by a partner network internationally who provide local support and can also provide professional services such as integration to expand on the FotoWare offering. Documentation for the entire FotoWare suite is publicly available online. That's part of our efforts to be transparent and open for integration. We run on the Azure Cloud Platform. We're Gold certified by Microsoft, and we're also an Amazon Web Services partner. So if, for example, a customer comes and has a company policy to only run on the Amazon platform, we can do that as well. I'll leave it at that. That's the short story of FotoWare. You came here today to learn about picture workflows, so I'll just hand it over to Fred.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, just a quick view of what we are doing today. So, as you said, I just took the lead of ACTIVO Consulting. So, our purpose is really, and this is the role I like, to improve the customer experience. Alongside digital asset management, PIM, product information management, and CMS for all the websites. Of course, the DNA of companies also and myself is driven by image workflow. Everything started, as you will see, 25 years ago and even more, I will say. And of course, it's very important for us to understand this image workflow, which is really at the foundation, just like as a dam of any company, whatever you are doing, and of course, especially for photographers. So, when we just talked weeks ago about this great anniversary, I think I was very delighted to follow you and to try to tell a little bit more about how Fotostation has been driven since all these years. And something I like to say is in any projects, I'm always spending more time with the people. And whatever DAM projects, as for example, you want to start, it's always starting from a discovery, and it's all about the metadata. I know that we have today a lot of fantastic technology, AI, etc. I will not say I don't believe in it. So of course, it's always something more and to enhance the customer experience. But really and especially for photographers, it's so important to get the right keywords regarding the shoots we are doing. So, and during these last 25 years ago, if I'm telling you exactly what I did 25 years ago, maybe you will be out of love. I was starting as a PhD in nuclear physics, or you can see that at the end of the day, you can start from a PhD and do something very different years later. But even in the CERN, it's maybe you know the place. It was between Lyon in France and Geneva. We really started to because we have a fantastic bandwidth. Really started to manage images. So it's not really any images of animals, of landscape, etc. It was something more technical, but it was the beginning where really I start using Fotostation, because one of the things, as soon as you have images, is okay, I've got images, but how I can reuse and find again my assets. And really at the beginning, we really started to put something like indexation using the name, but you can really understand very quickly that it's not maybe the right way. And in fact, I discovered 25 years ago, maybe a little before, since I'm using the Adobe software, so it means Photoshop 1, 1990, something like that. We have a standard in this industry, and we don't have so many standards. I can tell you, as a DAM owner and DAM expert, that we are still searching for something like we're calling a DAM maturity model. But in 1965, a group of experts really tried to build something regarding this metadata information, and this is what we are calling now the IPTC. Of course, alongside the years, a couple of things have changed. IPTC, then we are talking about XMP, but I will tell you a little bit later. And so just after these awesome years studying physics, I got the great opportunity, because for me it was very important. This is my passion, in fact, at the end of it, just even to take pictures. And so I got the opportunity to start with Hachette Image, and it was a very great venture. Of course, it was a rough time, because in the early 2000s, it was also in the meantime starting talking about the rights, and nothing was really done. In fact, in all the countries, there was no regulations at all. So, who belongs to this picture? How can sell the picture? And in 2000, I really started with my team to launch a website for Gamma Press Image. So we have tons of very great materials everywhere. We have, of course, it was the beginning of the digital, so we spent a lot of time to scan a lot of images. And in the meantime, we really started using Fotostation and tried to deploy Fotostation across all the agencies with my colleagues. And in a couple of weeks, it was super easy. We really started to do a great job. And when you are starting such a project, you said, okay, we have so many pictures. How we can find, how we can set a deadline? I remember at that time the C-level of Hachette image and Marie Couder, as for example, told me that it's nothing we can achieve in a short time. I said, we don't, no stress. We just have to start from the beginning to trying to do the maximum as we can to scan, to organize, to edit, and to index, and then we will see. And finally, after a couple of months, we have thousands and thousands of pictures available. And to be honest and to tell with you, in fact, I'm just processing exactly the same way even 20 years later. Okay? And so during a couple of years on my side, because as you saw, I left Hachette for Hachette Philippe image in 2002. But during more than 10 years, as soon as the ownership has not changed, and of course that was a challenge regarding the copyrights. A lot of agencies have to more, I will not say disappear, but a couple of acquisitions have been made, and so it was not easy. But really, I got maybe one of the best time I ever had is really to start with of my colleagues or my friends that today they are friends, photographers. In 2002, I jumped to an agency which is maybe one of the top today in France. It's an agency working for retailers. So maybe you know the name. It's Carrefour, Leclerc, Auchan, people like this. And I will say when I was by Say Communication, I said, okay, we have some file saver. Maybe you know it was full press from Xinet, or it's more a file saver than a DAM itself, but no way to manage the indexation. And especially for Xinet, we have to wait 2007-8 for version 14, just the time for the vendor to understand that maybe it will be interesting to index files inside the DAM. So what we can do before, and really at the early stage in Say Communication, I really create a team of librarians, so 5 people, and more or less I did exactly the same I did years ago with Hachette. So it means we just had to organize the workflow of the images, and in such agencies, this agency is producing something for retailers, 10,000 pages per month. So it's a massive amount of images. So something like between 500 and 1,000. So you have to select them. It's not an easy task, and then we have to index this picture. And really, we took, in Say Communication, really took the lead at the technology point at that stage, because a lot of people said, but how you can retrieve such images in a very short time? Because especially for retailers, I will say that most of them, they are doing the same, they are using the same products. As for example, for a bottle of Coca-Cola, it's the same after years. So maybe it's changing sometime, but so you have to reuse this content. And so just the way that we are able to index using Fotostation, all this metadata was really, it gave us really a main advantage regarding the competition. And so just in about 2 years, we had a fantastic libraries of pictures by the agency. In the meantime, I was also taking the lead to manage the image workflow for ReadMeDem. ReadMeDem is a UK company they are organizing all the events in Cannes. So maybe you heard about MIDEM, MIPIM, MICOM. So a couple of events, professional events for music and etc. For building and for a lot of events. And of course, this is very, very short events, a couple of days, between 2 and 5 days. Maybe one of the most crowded was the MIDEM. Everybody knows the MIDEM because I think it's still on the television today. We have at the end of the year the top award for music, and so it's a lot of artists, a lot of singers, a lot of content, and we have to take a lot of pictures. It was minimum 50,000 of pictures, and so every day more or less it was 5,000 images to organize, to filter, and to index. And I remember with just 2 people, not a lot, not an army, and just 2 people, and using Fotostation, we're able to drive very easily all this image workflow. So it was really a great pleasure, and it's still running. and especially for Festival of Cannes, to manage all their libraries of pictures and I try to use some of them with the agreements of my friends photographers. So because it's not a job of one guy, it's a job of a team. And even now today, with ACTIVO, it's also something I like to spend the time. It's not something you can see, and especially in France, most of the time people say, okay, I need a solution. I look at the Gartner, what, etc. I say, okay, maybe it's, I will not say Gartner is not doing the right job, but first of all, do I have to spend the time with the people, okay, how you are working, and today with my customers, it's always the same thing. It's the same story as 20 years ago. Just to organize the asset, index the metadata, and this is very important, and you will understand why. So just for the pleasure, this is the two pictures I really like. This one, which is a view of Festival of Cannes. So you can really understand that you have so many photographers. It's a very short time because you have to share this content in just few hours, because you are not just alone. It's easy if you are alone, so or just like as a corporate event, because okay, you have time, even if you have in a little bit in a hurry. But for the press, it's most of the time they would like to get the picture yesterday. So as soon as all the VIP people were on the red target, you need to send the picture, and so you need to add metadata, because we have some in this workflow. We have to add metadata for the journalist. So this is a couple of guys I know in this industry. So it's minimum hundreds of photographers in Festival of Cannes, and that's really great people doing a fantastic job. So if we're back to Hachette, so it was more or less starting from that, and I took this example of a picture of this super well-known, and we are very proud in France of this flight. It was also with the UK, but and it was in 2001. Maybe you know what's happened to the Concorde. And so this is in the meantime the viewer of the Fotostation we have to index, and keep in mind how it looks like, because you will understand the next. And in fact, if you are looking now from Fotostation number 3 to version 3 to version 8 today, okay, if you are you just try to get some distance. You say, okay, on the left side is gray, on the right side it's black, because everything has to be black today, but it's more or less the same. And I would say, yes, it is the same, but it's also the reason why it works, and it works super fast. So it means that to be super efficient, it has to be very simple. That's something that a couple of people are missing today. A photographer, what they need, they just need a tool to index to filter very fast, to index super fast, and that's all. Of course, and we will see that you have some user actions to enhance this image workflow, resizing, and etc., sharing, etc. But the first thing we need is to index super fast. When you receive 2,000 of picture, you don't have time waiting for, I don't know what's happening in the system. And you see that today, most of the software, just like Lightroom, even Adobe Bridge, even if this one is super basic, but Dexolab, Capture One, etc., Camera Beats, they are trying to do for me too much things. Of course, as soon as you are professional as a photographer, and you will see that you can really combine all of them. And that's an example I will take with Fotostation and Capture One as for example. And so why Fotostation? In fact, for any photographers, it's so important to, in fact, to archive your materials, all your images. And I don't know if you ever try to, because I've got a couple of friends try to of course, to save their files inside their hard drive, which is a good way. You are, at the end of the day, all photographers are trying to archive a couple of things on different hard drives, or to duplicate the hard drives. Today you have such hard drives just like Synology, which are super good. But of course, every time a photographer, he has to retrieve, because a customer asking for, can you find me a picture in 2007, where I was with George Clooney or something like that. So you know what are doing most photographers too many often? So they are just spending hours in folders trying to find the picture. It doesn't make sense. Of course, a lot of them, because they are used to manage image workflow with Fotostation and IPTC, we will see that one of the advantage, one of the main core feature of Fotostation is to support this IPTC standard. And it's super, super important because you can save this information inside your file. So if you are searching for a keyword inside your hard drive, you can. Inside your Synology, you can, okay? And it's super important. And in the meantime, you can back up the image and the metadata. So the reason of Fotostation, it's super easy, it's super fast. As I said, you have a lot of shortcuts. At the end of the day, when I'm launching Fotostation, I know how to start. It just, my hands are running on the keyboard, and a couple of shortcuts, as you will see just after in the live demo. So the performance is there, the support of the metadata. You have also, after years, we have a couple of instances regarding their user actions. So because sometimes we need to deliver, to resize some of the pictures. So of course, I know that a couple of people are using some droplets from Photoshop and etc. But I don't know if you just like me, but I try to change my laptop more or less every year, 18 months. So it's faster and even faster and even faster. I've got today something like 8 cores, terabytes and SSD, etc. But Photoshop is not fast. It's not so fast as it could be, in fact. And so reason why, for very basic user actions, why using Photoshop to resize your picture? You can do it in Fotostation, okay? And of course, a couple of very interesting sharing I will show you in the live demo. Just this slide. This slide is important for me because it just, and on the presentation, you can click on the slide and you go direct to the right place on the website of the aptc.org, and you will understand exactly how this standard is working, how the information is embedded into the file. So a lot of very super useful information. If you want to learn more, if you don't want to learn more, you just have to go to the next slide. And of course, just before going to the live demonstration, as I said, if you are a photographer, you need to share your content at one time. So of course, when you are a photographer, sometimes it's a little bit a challenge, and even outside of the time we are living today, to pay for a service. Just to give you an idea, the price we were paying for the cover of Paris Match in 2005, it's just 10 times and even more less today. So you have to, it's difficult for most of photographers to survive, to be honest. So reason why I've seen more and more of my friends doing corporates, doing weddings, try to do something. And I can tell you, it's even a challenge for us to change just the camera. I saw that, as for example, this week is the launch of the new Nikon D6. It's just 6,000. You imagine the number of pictures you have to publish to get the money back. And when you see in the meantime what you can do with a smartphone, so that's a terrible challenge. So when you're going to a dam, how you can do? Of course, you can use Google Photo, also things like that, but it's very limited for all the metadata things. You can use Dropbox, but Dropbox or Drive are not really a dam. And so, as it's of course Fotostation, I think FotoWare made a great announcement something like 1 month ago, and now you can really start using PhotoWeb starting for 74 euros. So it's more or less nothing. It's the price of Dropbox Business, okay? And you have a real DAM system. So reason why I will show you also demonstration from Fotostation to PhotoWeb. And so the purpose of the DAM, just as a quick reminder, the purpose of the DAM system is from the asset creation, and today it's just massive. It's not only images, it can be videos, large video, 4K, 3D, PDF, anything, very large files. And the purpose is as an engine to process all these files, to organize the content alongside the metadata. Of course, now more and more DAM systems they have added at the top to get beyond the single source of truth, workflow management in order to approve the images alongside the business process of your customers. If they have also a couple of connectors, so just like as for example to feed all your WordPress and FotoWare, as you will see on the FotoWare web page on FotoWare, all the connectors and partnerships. So it's very important today outside to be of course a photographer for agencies, brands, retailers, and but for photographer you will see that it can be also very important. And at the end of this life cycle of the assets, you have the distribution, and today you have to share the same assets in different touch points, different communication channels. And the purpose of them is also this capacity to transform the assets. This is what calling renditions. So I think this is right time now for the show time. So just check my time, 26. So I will be now back to, of course I will start, so you can see I've got a couple of software. So I will start from Fotostation. And so this is Fotostation version 8 running on my Mac. It works also on Windows. So on the left side, more or less, I've got all my organization of folders and etc. And I get some pictures from my photographers. So I've got something like more than 200. On the right side, you have the list of some user actions. So I've got a couple of them to resize, to do contact sheets, a couple of things. And on my side, in this demonstration, I will show you how to, from a selection, to publish on my website. And the second action will be to share on FotoWeb. So the first thing is, when you have all these assets, how you can organize and filter everything. Something is very important. You can see you have a minimum of button at the top. You can customize all of them. So you have the ranking, you have the tags, and all this metadata are something that really you can customize on your own. And this is metadata using by the IPTC. You can display the pictures with different size of your previews. So if you are getting old like me, you can go like this, but I'm not too old, so I can use this one. Then of course, when you are moving from a picture, something you can do, just press space, and then you can go from one to the other. And when you want to make a selection, you can press the space bar. So it's a super easy things to, in fact, to make a selection. Okay, and so then when you are back, you can see the section of your assets. So what I can do, as for example, I can just drag and drop them into my selection folder. Okay. Something you can also do, which is also super nice, is I can make a selection of all of them, and just Ctrl G. You can just use as a carousel and just doing something like that. So the quick selection. You can tag in the meantime. You can, as for example, I've got this one. You can do approved. So you have a couple of shortcuts at any time to, and you can see, for example, the ranking in the meantime. So what you can do, and this is very important today, is to ingest the metadata. So for that, I will take as for example this picture. Okay, and for this picture, I can edit the layout of information. Okay, so you can see a couple of feeds. Of course, you can get more feeds there, because you have, with the IPTC, you have something like more around 500 feeds that you can customize. And something which is super good in Fotostation is you can edit a couple of these templates. So as you can see, because maybe I'm getting old, I'm using the old style, which is a Fotostation 4.5, because I'm used to work with this layout. This is also one I recommend, because this is the one that you can, as soon as you have completed all this information in all the feeds, you can find all this information in more or less all damn system or the software. That's the reason also why. But you can move to something a little bit simpler, okay? Or even or for crying, okay? But even something you can do, you can also edit this information, and that's really cool, because there you can really organize your own templates. And as you can see there, you can see the 500 custom fields that you have with the IPTC. So what does it mean? It means that you can really, and that's really an advice alongside the photographers I give you to all customers of a DAM system, and reason why Fotostation is very important, you will save a tons of time. Why? Because as soon as all your information is in your file, the only thing you have to do is to upload in your DAM and everything will be ready. And even for custom informations, then the next thing that you have also to check is that your DAM system is able to, if you want to edit this information, it has to be capable to save in live this information inside the your images, which is not really the case, I can tell you, for most of the DAM vendors, because they will tell you, yeah, but for question of performance, etc., don't believe them, okay? So reason why it's very important to really, if you can manage all this indexation before, you will save a lot of time. And I don't know, because I had this experience with so many dams today during the last 20 years. Try to index online. Even with a fiber connection, even with everything you can imagine, it's just slow. It's not the right way. Of course, you can try to gather a couple of informations. In very large organizations, yes, you can try, but you will see that you can really start from the beginning, and just starting from all your images workflow from Fotostation, I can tell you, save a lot of time. So on my side, what I will do, yes, maybe before indexing everything, something I'd like to show and the importance of the IPTC, I will take for this picture, and for this picture I will add demo Fotostation. Okay, I will save my word and put it inside the keyword, and then I will save. So of course I'm in Fotostation, so in Fotostation at any time you can retrieve what you did. It makes sense. Okay, but something you can also do, if I'm back to my as for example my laptop, and here I'm searching for, as I'm not in anymore in Fotostation, I'm not in a DAM system, I'm just using the operating system, and what I can find my picture. So this is a clear representation how it works. It's very basic, okay? But it means that even as a photographer, even if you have to, in fact, you don't have too much money, at least the usage of Fotostation and this metadata can really save the work you are doing every day. You just have then to duplicate a couple of hard drives in order to get multiple backups. But you see how it works. So now I will also see how to ingest very quickly. So sometimes what I'm doing, and of course, because as a photographer, you don't have time to complete all of it. So the only thing I will do is just to copy this one. I will select all of them. And for all of them, I can, in fact, I've got multiple options, and on my side I just want to append to the existing field. So what I will do is, okay, and here the only thing I will do is, I will just use the old one, I'm sorry, and I will complete with a title here, and with the bylines and the capture writer I will add as, for example, so this is a DA for my team, okay, and that's all. And as you can see, in a couple of seconds, what's happened, I can go there and my feed is ready. Okay. At any time, you can replace a keyword, you can add a keywords, you can do so many things in a super very quick way. So, and of course, then you can search for. You can, if I'm searching for Clooney, you can see that George is there. So I can take some pictures of George and put it in my selection. Okay. And so also something you can do, in fact, you can synchronize, as for example, my selection folder with from Fotostation. So here, what I will do, I will just simply synchronize all my pictures. Okay. And so as you can see there now, I can use Capture as my main retouching software. And of course, you know Capture, you have so many things where you can retouch, you can add a lot of things. So I know that a lot of photographers like to use Capture for that. So just feel free, you can really, based on these old folders, you can really manage anything as you want. Okay, and so one other thing you can do based on your selection here is if you want to publish your selection, as I said at the beginning, to archive these assets on your Synology. I will just show you here also how you can use Fotostation with Synology. So the name of the system inside Synology is Fotostation. So it's not really the same as Fotostation. It's not a F but a P here, but whatever. Something you can do is from Fotostation here. I'm able to manage because I just mounted here using Samba connection. I just mounted here the system. So that's something you can see here. I can get there. Oops. So I can click there. I can see here my folder, which is the same here, as you can see. I can go to illustration, go to Cannes, and go to a festival. Okay. So this is my picture. I can see all of them here. And so, of course, okay. And so, as soon as you're back, in fact, in Fotostation, you can browse these folders. So from my file server, and at any time, what you can do, you can select one of the picture, and you can change the indexation. So, and you just have to, as I did before, put everything you want there. And when you are back, in fact, inside the system here, you can find your pictures. So I've got my wall of pictures. I can click there, and you can see all the information on this side. So you can print from one to other. And so finally, with Synology, you have a hardware, you have something like a small DAM, but which is pretty good because you can also do a lot of things. As you can see here, you can share, you have a lot of actions, so that's pretty cool for most of the photographers, in fact. So, and finally, I was using Fotostation to add this information, and of course, because it's IPTC based, if I'm searching for Cannes, you'll be able to retrieve your assets. Just super easy. And so then you can see that my selection is more or less ready. So what I would like to do now, because of course I want to share this content with my customers or with a journalist. So as you remember, I set up 2 user actions. So the user actions in Fotostation is, so in the preferences, you can set up all of them. You have a couple of default setup. And on my side, because I'm not a lazy guy, but I like when the vendor is doing the job also, I just customize 2 of them. One is Web Publish. So Web Publish is what? I resize some of the picture and I will upload this picture inside my website. My website is where, so this is my website. Okay, so it's a nice one. So I've got a couple of pictures, so like this, blah blah. It's super nice. So this is the website for all my pictures. And of course, as you can see, I've got Festival of Cannes, so I need to push my selection with on this website. So the only thing I have to do is to select all the assets, and then I will just click on Web Publish. So it's doing the job. So I can go to the FTP folder, so you can see that it's working fine. So this is there. My pictures are there. Okay, so the only thing I have to do is just to refresh. It's processing, so it is, but it's ready. That's super cool. So you can see that I've got my assets. So yeah, of course, for this one, I just have to little bit refresh because this is the web, like this. Okay, so all my pictures, and as you can see there, what do you see at the bottom? You can see this information I put in Fotostation because I just set up a couple of custom metadata. So I gave the title, I've got the description, I've got the EXIF information, and I can download. So it's just like as a WordPress thing. So, but as you can see, from Fotostation indexation, I will say in minutes, I was able to filter, to ingest, and to share. And it costs more or less nothing. This is just a website, and just look at this fantastic picture. So this is one user action, and so very, 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 very top. I'm enjoying every day to use this workflow. The next step is, of course, this one. So this is my Fotostation number 8. So what I will do is, so if I'm going back to, so this is my main view of my server. So you can manage a couple of components. You can search for fantastic UIs. So you have different ways to use for FotoWeb. So of course I can use the upload button here, but I will start after Fotostation. So you can upload from the FotoWeb to a couple of pictures. But on my side, what I will do is, so I will be back to my selection here, and I just have to click there to upload this selection inside FotoWeb. In the meantime, because as a photographer, sometimes you don't have time. So the only thing you can do is to use your smartphone. So I will just mirror my hello, and here what I will do is I will use FotoWeb, and just with my smartphone, because now my smartphone has super quality of pictures, what I can do, I can also use the smartphone. I'm on the stairs on the red carpet of Festival of Cannes, and George is just coming back. I don't have the time to change the optic. Okay, so I will take my smartphone. So I will not take a picture of me just now. I'm not in a super with a suite, etc. So we just use an exciting picture, and of course it will be a picture of Festival of Cannes. This one. And as you can see, I can bring some information there. So I can add so it's not a super exciting keyword, but it's just to make the demo. Fred demo, okay, done, and then I can upload just with a smartphone. Approved. Okay, so now I can log out from the smartphone, and now back to FotoWeb. So if I'm going to all my assets, what can you see? You can see the pictures I uploaded from Fotostation, and something which is super. What can you see? You can see that all the pictures added some tag, red, green, lila, etc. And you can find all of them. You can get the ranking back, and you can also, just like on my website, all my descriptions. So if I take as, for example, this one, for this picture, you can see all this information. So everything you did before in Fotostation is available also on FotoWeb. Okay, just fantastic. Okay, and for the picture from the from my smartphone, you can see also the tag, the Fred demo, etc. Fantastic. So, and from that you can do a lot of things. Of course, you can download. So FotoWeb is, of course, has a strong DAM system able to manage renditions. You can customize these renditions. You can print. You can edit the metadata. You can change your own schema of metadata. So a lot of things that any photographers, and just imagine that if you're looking at the first plan of this of FotoWeb, it's just starting at 74 per month, which is just incredible. Okay, so I'm super happy with that. Something I'd like also to show regarding, so of course I didn't make some search, but I think you are believing me. So if I'm searching for George, okay, you can find the pictures of George. Okay, so I think FotoWeb will be super happy that I uploaded my pictures from Cannes in the server. So now, yes, the last thing I'd like to show, because it's very also important, and it's also another way sometimes to upload your picture. If I'm back to here, to my desktop, I will go to the DAM system and to my samples here. Oops, like this one. Yeah, you know, I'm doing bicycle. I like, this is my favorite one, Greg Lemon. So you can upload there. And here what you can do, you can put a selection of this picture, drag and drop, and something also which is super important. Here, even using the DAM, you can, during the upload, you can customize your own schema of information. Okay, so at any time there, I can, of course, add the description. It's a picture illustration. Credit is myself. I'm super well known now. Okay, that's good. And then let's go. And the system is processing for you. So what we saw that from Fotostation we were able to distribute the content on a website, on FotoWare, different user actions, and we are able to maintain all this information in one place. So if I'm now back to just to see all my pictures, I can see the assets there available with exactly the same way. And if you are changing any information in FotoWare, downloading the files, you can get everything ready. So I think I tried to, it was going, I think, more or less super well. So now we can back to the presentation and the next.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. Thank you, Olav, as well. We have some questions.
Yeah.
The first one is from David. Speaking of indexation, since the basic Fotostation 8 doesn't have an index, at what point would you consider it essential to add Index Manager if all images are on a single machine?
Yeah, for sure. This is something I was using at the beginning at Fotostation in 2000. So using the Index Manager. Something also you can also do is, because this is more and more we are, and especially by customers, we are using taxonomies. So sometimes it's also important to be able to import these taxonomies at any time. But I will say to be honest, using the Index Manager, you can really derive, I think, more or less everything you want from any type of custom metadata from in your system.
I hope that answered your question, David. I have some. I have a small comment on that. Could it be? Are you trying to get when you should introduce it, an Index Manager into your system as well? I understand it's a technical question, but please elaborate on that and just send us an email or we can take it up directly.
At the end of the day, it's as for example for Gamma Press Image, we have all the servers behind, because as soon as you are working with hundreds of people, it's not really the same. On my machine, I was more as a freelancer. Of course,
user.
Yeah, which is not, of course, the same. But of course, you have. I remember I've got also a couple of items just to add to drive some automation, to add a caption or things like that. So you can do much more automation at the server level.
If I can elaborate as well, it's pretty hard these days to give any hard and fast rules on when Fotostation itself won't be capable of addressing all the pictures for a standalone photographer. There's so many things that come into play. It's the speed of your drives, it's the number of files you're indexing. So basically, what we're saying is start off with Fotostation and start working on your files. If you feel that things are getting sluggish by and by, you can always move to an Index Manager configuration and still keep all your metadata. So it's not dangerous to start out in one end with a standalone Fotostation and then gradually work your way up as your requirements increase.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. There's a comment. I just think this is according to wording. It is there are not 500 IPTC fields. There may be 400 plus fields listed in Fotostation, but more than half of custom fields stored in XMP, which are not part of the IPTC standards. And truthfully, it's talking about metadata fields in general.
Yeah, for sure. And in fact, at the end of the day, I'm used to when you see the layout of the layout of 4.5, this is the most common feeds we are using. Then, of course, when you are moving to a DAM system, whatever the DAM is, the way to manage that is very different from one to the other. So in some DAM, you can customize your own. It's not something you can get from the IPTC, so you have to to redo everything on your side. But I would say that you have always some workflow mechanism. I'm used to work and with some customers in fashion industries, and they were doing with some workflow capabilities to pick up some information from ERPTC, to pick up some information from their ERP system, and then to be able to customize something for their something very custom for the end customer. So it's at the end of the day, it's a mix, in fact, of things. And of course, regarding the DAM system you are using, it's always different.
Yes, thank you. We're a little we're running short of time. We're in overtime, in fact. We will answer all the questions, and all of you will get a response to your question. We have a few that are very general, so I'll take one more, and it says, what resources are available for someone to teach themselves how to use Fotostation effectively and using best practice?
So it's for me.
I can. I think Olaf. Can you?
Yeah, I think it's when I'm searching for some training, I think I'm using the same way as any people. So on YouTube you have so many things, but on your channel you have also a lot of training also that has been done, just like as your newsletter with the top 5 features of Fotostation this week. So but I know so many photographers outside that they are producing a lot of educational trainings with Photostations, or it's now part of a community. So you find it's not a of course I know how it works for now, but if I'm searching something very specific, it's I just ask to Google.
Yeah.
We have public documentation on learnphotoware.com, and a lot of things are documented there. It would be nice to have more videos, I'm sure, but we also find that photographers use Fotostation in so many different ways that it's sort of hard to give away any best practices. People find there's often more than one way to do something, and all those different methods of getting things done are documented on learnphotoware.com. So that's a good place to start. And then if you have any concrete questions about, how do I do this or how do I do that, there's always FotoWare support. They'll be able to lend you a hand.
And the customer community as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. To this new slide, Fotostation. We have a celebration this year.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Fotostation is in fact celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. For 25 years, Fotostation has helped photographers and their managers edit and organize their large collection of files. To celebrate, we are actually now offering a discount. So using the discount code 25 years, you can now get hold of Fotostation for just 25 euros. Then next slide is just a few just links, and I want to thank you all for attending this webinar and spending your time with us. We hope that you leave our session with more knowledge and some more insight on how to create fantastic image workflows. The presentation, recording, and relevant links will be shared with you on the follow-up email of the webinar. And for the
something I can add, maybe, because of course I'm a French guy and I've got a lot of people behind, so I will redo what the live demonstration in French and post it to maybe we can post it or on your YouTube at any time, or on my channels or whatever, so you can get also a French version of everything we are saying.
Fantastic. Then we get both an English and a French version.
Correct.
And for last words, be well, be kind, and be safe.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.